Hey Ashley, I just wanted to let you know that I love you, and this very special video is going to be made specifically for you, from me. Um, I'm now back in Maine, but not for long. I'm coming back down to Virginia. I'm here for about 3 days. By now, you watching this, you know that I've been buying things for the baby. The very first thing I bought was the new arrival kit and the baby girl blanket. Um, I hope this doesn't make you mad, but I'm gonna just be very honest with you. I'm gonna spoil our baby rotten. I'm gonna spoil her. She's our princess, she's our queen, she's our precious gift. Over the course of the past few days, actually a little bit longer than that, I've been talking with Vicky, and I've been getting to the bottom of a lot of truth. You'll probably notice that she explained a lot to me about Skowhegan, parts that you didn't explain to me. You didn't have to. You don't owe me an explanation. You did what you did what you had to do, and I am in no way mad at you. I never will be. We all make our bad mistakes. God knows I've made mine. But I just want to let you know that you don't have to hold things back from me if you don't want to. There is nothing you can tell me that's going to make me mad. Not anymore. I've come to realize that my attitude towards life itself has changed since I've been with you. And I'm going to explain exactly how. It's taken you, sweetheart, you and our precious baby, to wake me up. Granted, my hair is all messed up, and I got a scruff here, but that's all going to change. You've taught me how much you love me. You've taught me that love is a good thing. You taught me that I don't have to fear love. You taught me that I can depend on you to always be with me. That's something I was so afraid of losing you. I went through the notes, as you saw, hopefully, on your messenger that you wrote to me, Daddy of the Year. I reread that and I sat down and I fucking cried because it meant so much to me. I don't even know where to begin how I feel right now. After rereading these notes you wrote to me, the notes that we sat down and talked about for hours, it brought back those good memories. Those memories that we would always have each other. No one would come between us. Nobody would step between us and take each other from each other. I made a vow to you, and I proved it on First Street. I will remain 100% faithful to you. And I have. And I always will. I'm not interested in any other women. You saw when Cece was there at the apartment. Every time she come running out half undressed or even fully undressed going to the shower, what did I do? Always turned away. When you and I first met, every now and then would pop out because of the dress she was wearing was too big or too loose. I'd look away and I'd tell you. Every now and then you'd go to sit up or stand up and your other, would be visible, and I told you. Out of respect. Please rest assured, Ashley, there will never be another woman for me. You are the only woman that I'll ever have. I've made that commitment. I made that vow and that promise to you directly, face to face. You and I were making love on my birthday, and you asked me that question. You asked me very directly, and I will never forget these words, exact words you said. What if somebody else came along, Al? Would you leave me? Remember what I told you? You'd have to kill me first. You'd have to put a knife in my heart, because I will never leave you. I am faithful to you, 100%. Now, granted, you know about my medical condition, and I will be very honest with you, it is extraordinarily painful right now. But I'm not going to be with any other women. It will not happen. I can look you right in the camera. I will never, ever be with another woman other than you. Why am I spending so much time on this? Because couples, when they're separated for a long period of time, sometimes they make mistakes and they be with other people a while. Not me. I'm not going to do that. I cross my heart and promise you that you are the only woman in my life. You always will be my only woman. Because you're the one I love. When you and I discussed the love for each other, and I was so scared to tell you what true love meant to me, and then I finally opened up to you. Remember how we cried together? That's what love is. Love is always being there at each other's side. Not smothering each other, but always being there for each other. Love is being willing to go the extraordinary distance. What I mean by the extraordinary distance is every single step. I think I proved that to you, sweetheart. When you showed up at 1610 Patterson, 9:30 that night, and said, Al, babe, I was afraid they were going to take our baby away. Don't ever let them take our baby away from us. Don't ever let them separate us. I'm sorry I had to do this. We got to go right now. And I told you I'd be in violation of kidnapping. But I didn't hesitate. I went with you. And we went to that abandoned building. And we held each other and we cried. And we made love. You remember? You said usually you take your time and go slow. This time you just... It's because I love you. I don't hesitate anymore to tell you that. I do not hesitate to explain what love is, because I know what love is now. Inside my heart, love is exactly as follows. Ashley Jane Austen and our precious little baby girl. That's love. What am I going to do for our daughter? I'm going to start buying the best gifts possible. Everything we could ever need. I'm not going to buy hand-me-downs, used, scratched, beat up, worn. Our baby girl, our tongue-tied here, our baby girl deserves the best. And I'm going to give her the best. There is something I'm going to ask you on this video that you may not understand why I'm asking. But as a couple, it's very important that we ask these questions. I'm asking you to never leave me. Never take our baby from me. Never say, Al, you're not man enough for me. I'm asking you to please don't do that. I could not handle that, and I'll be the very first to tell you that I could not handle that. If I ever became abusive to either you or our baby, I would absolutely demand that you report it, regardless of the circumstance. It's just in my nature to tell you this, because you know that I cannot stand somebody who hurts children, and I cannot stand somebody who beats women. You know that I'm not a woman beater. You know that. You know in my past 25 years ago, my charge. The very first day we got together, remember what I did? I sat down and I explained it to you. And then I took you to the Bangor police station. The thing that so many people don't understand is that I won't hide things from you. The only time I've ever actually outright lied to you was when you came in the back bedroom on 71 First Street and asked me if I was alright when I was bent over holding my stomach because of you know why. And I said, yeah, I'm fine, just cramps, whatever. Because I didn't want to burden you with my problem. But you saw right through that, and you said, Al, don't lie to me. You're not okay, I can see it in your eyes, you're crying. What's wrong? So Andy went out and went to the store and picked up milk and I think eggnog, whatever it was. And I sat on the edge of the bed and I explained it to you. And you held me and you said, I wish there was something I could do to help. And I said, you can't. You're already taken. I was even being respectful then. When Andy and you talked, and I'm not going to go into detail in this video because I don't want others to know about this unless you personally want them to. Andy gave you the okay to, you know, and afterwards that's basically what made me feel that I could tell you anything. Because you didn't judge me for what we had just done. You didn't judge me and condemn me. I think the biggest thing in my life right now is doing everything in my power for you and our baby. To see to it that I am the boyfriend, the fiance, and the future husband that you and I discussed, that you actually deserve. You deserve somebody not like Andy. You deserve somebody that's going to treat you like a woman. Not like a fucking slave. Not like a punching bag. How many times that man sat there and lied to you? It just baffles me. I think the most important thing for me to tell you right now is that I'm fighting on every avenue for you right now, for you and our baby, and everybody that you know, Vicky, Margaret, Lisa, me, they can verify that. Now this incident's about how you was arrested that night, the second time, where they took you from me. By now you already know the truth, and I know that probably hurts you. When I first saw the verification, I broke down. Because I never thought that was going to be possible. And the first thing that came to my mind is that you would take it the hardest because you trusted her. You trusted her not to hurt you. You trusted her to never turn you in. I mean, yeah, you was pregnant, it was cold, and we had very little food except for those honey buns and boost drinks. But we were going to make it, somehow. I cannot say that I hate her for that. Because as a result, unfortunately, the circumstances that led up to that were painful, but as a result, we now have a very healthy, precious baby girl. Don't know if she's born yet or not. I don't know when you're going to see this video. But regardless of circumstance, she should have done it differently. She should have talked to you and I about it and said, look, this needs to be, and this is why. Not wait till we go there laying down in each other's arms and have the police go kicking in the door. Vicky and I messaged each other for well over 2 hours when I was in Virginia. And she told me very directly, and you can read it yourself, it's still there because I refuse to delete any messages. I want you to see what I've been doing. She told me that I need to know the truth. And this is the truth. How do I know it's the truth? Because only she knew the actual details of every single thing that was going on. The only person that would know those details is somebody who knows the facts. She knew about us being in the abandoned building, cold, no food. She knew that as soon as I went downtown, the police department showed up. She knew all these circumstances, all these facts. The only person that would know that is the person who knows the truth. You'll also see that in some of my videos I was very mean to Vicky because I was under the impression that she turned us in. That wasn't the case. Will I ever trust Margaret again? No. Will I hate her? I don't think hate is the word. Hate is not good. The only person that I hate is Andrew. I hate him for what he did to you. Inside my heart, I hate him for what he did to you. Will I hate Margaret? No. But I will never trust her again. I've come to know Vicky very good now. What I mean by that is I know you and I discussed that you had problems with her and she had problems with you and you're both conflicted with each other. Under the circumstances, what I know, my advice is, and I'm just going to say this, family is too fucking precious to throw away. Set you two's differences aside. Give each other a hug. Share a few tears if you have to. Put it behind you. I'm asking you to do what you begged me to do. Forgive. I had to forgive my father for what he did to me. When you research online about my father, you can't find anything that shows him and I together anymore, except for one interview. That's because what my grandmother did to me when I was younger to protect me, to protect my sister, they decided that they would take everything that they could ever find that directly linked me to him and take it offline. That's when he went to Arizona and started working at a truck warehouse. They told me where he was at. And it wasn't long after that that people found out where he was at, so he was relocated. And he's still on the run, being relocated place after place after place. You asked me to forgive him for what he did to me. It was the hardest thing I could ever do because just watching a video of him, I cried. You saw that. I want to sit down someday and show you things about my father on actual paperwork, court paperwork, hospital paperwork. I want to set your mind and heart at ease. I found out just recently through my attorney Blair Jones that my father's health has severely declined, but I don't know if I want to know any more than that. Since you conceived our child, I've started thinking about my religion. I turned against my religion because my religion is not good or appropriate for our daughter. It's not good for either of us. I'm not saying that I'm going to be a Bible thumper, to go around and tell people, accept Jesus Christ. I won't do that. But I am going to find a stable church that's an in-between. Because with your permission, and only with your permission, I want to start teaching our daughter at a very early age to always be good to people. To have that golden heart that you have. To see somebody that's homeless when she gets older. To reach out and say, hey sir, or hey ma'am, here's a sandwich. Here's a hot cup of cocoa or a hot cup of coffee. Here's some blankets. If she has spare change in her purse, maybe she will consider going to the store and buying them a pair of socks or a hat or mittens. I want to teach you these things. I want to see to it that she goes to school, that she has the education that you and I didn't get. An education that guarantees that she has a good job, that she earns a good paycheck, that she doesn't have to worry about which is going to be most important this month, paying the rent or putting heat in the house, which is going to be most important next month, paying the utilities or buying food. I don't want her to live like that. I want her to live a good, solid, healthy, safe life. And one thing above all things, and I know this is going to be painful to you, it is painful to me, but I have to say this. I want to teach her with you that when a man abuses her or tries to abuse her, to fight back with the legal system, to make sure that he never does it again, or she. And I don't mean our daughter, I mean sometimes females do it too. I want to see to it that our precious little baby daughter grows up in a better environment than you and I could ever have grown up in. And that means not having to worry about foster homes, group homes, jails, prisons, institutions. That she never becomes an alcoholic. That she never becomes a heroin addict. That she never becomes a street gangbanger. That she doesn't have to go to a store and steal food to eat. These are the things that I so desperately want to sit down and talk with you about. Because these are things that our daughter will need to learn. You and I talked about that a couple weeks after you found out that you conceived our child. But we stopped talking about it because Andy started being an asshole. You'll also be happy to know that I walked away from Charlie. I don't want us or our baby to learn those trades. Those trades in the wrong hands for the wrong reason are very dangerous weapons. I don't want her to know those things. I don't want her, and I need to say this, sweetheart, and please don't cry when I say this. I don't want her to wake up one morning depressed, feeling alone and abandoned, and walk off someplace and take a gun and put it to a temple or in her mouth. I don't want that. I want her to be able to talk with you and I as her mom and dad and let us know when those feelings come up, if they ever come up. And I'm sure they will, because every child, every teen goes through it. God knows I went through it. I went through it more than I got hair on my damn head. Sweetheart, there is one thing that I want to say that I know I don't say enough of. I love you. It took me a long time to be able to use that word I. You know the reason why, but I'm going to tell you why. Because every time I said I love, I was always hurt. You've never hurt me. Except when you broke my nose. I shouldn't have said that. It was funny though because I deserved it. I never forgot that. You just took that step forward and dropped your hand down the bridge of my nose and my hat goes. It would have been a cartoon had we have had a camera going. And you want to know something? I respected you after that. Because it showed me that you was willing to defend yourself. That's important to me. I'm going to wrap this video up, but I wanted to let you know that I hope you like the gifts that I bought our daughter. And I would only hope that you and I are watching this video together. If we are, by now, you know I'm holding you, hugging you. And you know that we're both probably crying. I know I will be. Despite what the state says and does, despite what the courts say and do, never doubt that I love you. Never doubt, ever, that I love you. And never ever doubt that I love our daughter. She is our daughter. She's our family. You, her, and me are now a family. You're going to notice a lot of changes in me, kiddo. Changes for the good. By now, you'll know that if we're together, it means I'm not smoking cigarettes anymore. I absolutely will not smoke around a baby for any reason. You'll notice my hair has probably been trimmed, so I don't look like some 80s mullet. I know you always wanted me to keep my mustache, which I will. These little lines here will be gone because at least then I'll be safe and secure knowing you're in my arms and I'll be able to rest. A lot of it, and I be honest with you, is because I cry a lot. I cry because I miss you. And I want so much to be with you again. I never thought that we'd ever be pulled apart. Not like that. But we did. I want so much to hold you again. I want so much to hold our baby girl. I love you so much. And I am so afraid of losing you. Because of the state, because of people's lies. I know I'm not the most handsomest person in the world. And I know I'm not 20. And I know that I don't have exactly $1 million every day in my pocket. But I can't change who I am. I'm only me. When you told me you loved me for who I am, that you would never ever leave me or hurt me like my dad did, that meant the world to me and it still does. And I'm so scared I'm gonna lose you. I love you.